Well, hello everyone. It is time for us to get started. My name is Danny Ross, and I'm going to be your host for today's Lunch and Learn Wednesday edition. We have this every Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern. The Wednesday edition focuses on sales and marketing, and it starts at 12 noon Central or 1 p.m. Eastern. And the Thursday is a special edition where entrepreneurs get together who are focused on their white labels and building their business, and we work all together on making those businesses successful. That's the 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific time zone. If you happen to miss an event, just simply click here underneath, and you could go through any of the recordings and catch up quickly on any of the topics. So there's quite a few videos for you to pursue. The first time you land in the website, you may have to hit the little menu or caret here so that you can open it up if you're on mobile, and then you can explore all of the different resources here. I would start with the welcome video, covers the highlights of the platform. There's a replay of our 1 hour webinar we have every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then there's also the AI Super Self and the Create method, which talks about some of our core principles. So hopefully that helps a little. All right, on to sales and marketing. So today we're going to do some fundamentals in creating ads for you. Let me bring this sample document over, and this document allows us to work on the fundamentals of creating a marketing ad and marketing campaign that go with it. This document will be attached to the recording so you can grab it at any time. So let's go ahead and jump into creating ads in general. First thing you want to do is go through to our business formation. And generally speaking, with this platform, you always want to start on the Big Dream Generator. It allows you to answer 13 questions that are important for you to understand before you start your business. It allows you to get your ideas out of your head and onto paper. Then you can take those ideas and it will create what's called a business brief. So essentially, if you look at some of the previous recordings, I walk through what's a good business brief and how this can help you. What's great is you can iterate many times until you get that business brief laid out. This is more focused on the idea of your big dream and getting it on paper, as I said. So what you want to do is take that information and then go back to the AI sales coach and start a new conversation. And what you're going to be looking for here is you want to feed it the initial information about your business, and then you want to start asking some really important questions so that you can continue to grow it out. So, and here is my business brief, right? So you want to let it know. Now, we're going to continue working on one of our favorite attendees' business. This one is called Graceful Threads, and it sort of gives a pretty good idea of the types of business that we have. So we already have a document that we've started that really outlines a lot about the business and where we want to go from there. So we have this document here, which we created, and it has a lot of information about the business. It has the types of things that we're going to be trying to do with it. And I'll add this to it as well. And so we want to go ahead and get this information in there so that it knows who we are and the types of things that we want to do. And then we have some features and things like that. So we're going to train it up on the business brief. We're going to train it up on the information there. We're going to train it up on products and services. So it understands really a lot about the business before we even start asking it questions. So that's the idea of the business brief. It prepares and allows you to train the AI about the business. Man, so we'll put that in there. We'll just throw it in there. Let's see what we got. We might have a little bit too much, but let's see what we've gotten. Let's start a new thread. Looks like we may have overwhelmed it. There we go. And give it some information about our products and services. And then I'll go back and get a little bit more information. I'll put in the business brief. I'm going to do it piece by piece. That way we may have just been, I may have tried to put too much information into the first prompt. Let's see. Perfect. Just putting together a little bit of information about the business. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Antoinette, how are you doing? I'll let you speak. I'll bring you in as you're joining us here. So we get that going first, and then we will start prompting it with our specific questions as we go along. So I don't want to read all this out because it's quite a long prompt. So I'm just going to paste it in and then I'm going to edit it. And so we're going to just have it start off with that prompt. All we're going to do now is see what it came up with. At Graceful Thread Tees, we specialize in transforming family events. So it's learned about the business, what makes it special, the mission statement, the core values, the target audience. All of these things are in this description, right? So we want to grab all of this. So when you do it yourself, again, you want to take that product description because that, your business, whether your business is a for a service company or for a product company, I'm going to put this in here. And this is going to be heading one. So what I'm doing is creating this document so that I have something that I can reference as I go through. And so there's the prompt I put in, there's the product description that it created. So I'll drop this in the chat as when we're done as well. But I do want to at least get this kind of laid out. And so now we're going to take the second prompt. So now we have a product description that we can work from. And so we have pretty much everything we need to know about the services that Graceful Threads is going to offer, right? And this is what's really fun. And so I can take the T's out. This was kind of like a template I had started with, and the name of the company was a little different. So anyway, I'll go back and do a simple find replace to get rid of all the T's. All right, so this is the prompt that we're going to use next. And now we've got the product description. You are a market research expert and specialize in identifying buyer personas. And so it's going to expand upon what we already have as a buyer persona. So we're doing this kind of step by step because I wanted to really drill down into a good description of our buyer persona and or avatar, as they're also called in the marketing game. And so it's going to run off and create an actual person. So in this case, Lisa Richardson, female, is diving into even more, and it's creating actually more than one persona, which is good because then you can create what's called a focus group. And we'll do that in another exercise. But at least in this exercise, we have enough to really say, okay, we've got three people that we can target for our shopping experience here. And what you'll find in retail, generally speaking, is most buyers in retail are female. You'll see that most often. But of course, in this one, it's got a nice spread of two females, one male. So we now know who our target buyers are, different ages, and their interest in doing this. So we have that. So now we've got that done. Let's go on to our next prompt. So now we know who we're targeting, right? And I'm going to grab this. And so this is the third prompt. You're an expert in marketing strategy and creating profitable marketing campaigns. So we're going to take the business brief, we're going to take the product and services, we're going to take our target avatars, and we're going to walk through creating a marketing campaign for that particular group of people. Specifically, we want it to give us advice on, based on the avatars, based on who we're trying to create for, where should we market specifically, right? So let's make the prompt read so it stands out again. And then we'll go ahead and get that into there. Should have done that first and then come back and edit it because we want to give the AI sales coach time to think. And let's see, this is good. So the first prompt, you have to do some editing, and then maybe the second prompt also to kind of get it customized for your business. But once you do that, you're now just running through. Remember, always start with your business brief, feed that into the AI sales coach so that it knows about your business before you get going here. So now I have a lot of information about who, where I should start targeting. And it's the normal suspects, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and there's an outline for your strategy. So let me grab this now. And by the way, you could grab everything at once, but I like to grab it piece by piece. And you can also hit this little copy button here too. I like to, with GPTs and the way that the browser formats versus Word, I like to grab it individually just because you can then say paste and special and just get the text. Otherwise, sometimes you'll end up with tables and things and formatting. Good. So we've got that second, third one in there now. And now we're going off to, and by the way, you can put the headings in here so that when you come back, you can view and review the different H1 headers. And so it makes it kind of easier to get to the different areas that you're looking for. So I'll put this here as an H1 header, and that way I can see what I'm looking to see when I'm working on it. It kind of makes it a little bit easier. So you put the navigation pane on and you go here, you can see the different H1s, H2. So it just makes it a lot faster to move around your document. Here's the next prompt we're going to grab. And we're just going to get this one. So this is, I want you to continue acting as a marketing strategy, and I want to identify some competitors. You can't go into business without understanding both your business and who are you competing from. Now, the fun part about knowing your competitors, and this prompt may or may not fly here. Let's take a look. I want to understand their messaging and how they offer different. There's a couple of interesting things about understanding competitors and things like that. So you can do searches that are focused on the types of competitors you may have. But more importantly, what you're trying to do is look at these businesses and see what they're doing right a lot of times. So it's not that you're looking to see what they're doing wrong. It's a lot of times you're looking to see what they're doing right to make sure you're competing effectively against them. So that's one of the reasons why you kind of want to have this. So you are a paid social media marketing expert specializing in marketing. And so in this case, we're going to take all this stuff out here. This is from the prompt. And so marketing, retail, apparel, and family event businesses. All right. And then please write a long copy. Dan Kennedy is a famous marketer, old style marketer. And so we want him to help us create it. And remember, when you're doing a good prompt, you can invite an expert to the table. You can invite anybody that's famous on the internet to your prompt to help you create the content and the response that you're looking for. All right. So by in differentiating factors for our company, graceful threads, graceful threads, right? I want the call to action at the end to be an ad and click here to learn more. So perfect. So we'll grab that. And so we're going to replace the prompt that we have here. So we get rid of that prompt and paste in the new one, and it's off to the races. As I said, it was just easier to edit it in Word instead of trying to do it in that little tiny box. All right, so now that we've got that running, let me make this red as the last prompt, and then we'll make a space for us to drop it in, the response. It's created this response for us. And so we'll go up here and we'll take a look at this, what it's created. It looks nice, short and sweet to the point. I'm going to take it without the text only. Okay, so we'll take this red and turn it back to black. I accidentally got the formatting from above. That's my fault. All right, so now we've got something to work with. We make this again another heading. So we've got, everything that we need laid out in our doc. Attention family reunion leaders, eco warriors, and artist givers. Are you planning on your next family reunion showing the most memorable one yet? So far, so good. These are what they call long form ad copy, right? And so we would also want to adjust the copy based on our culture, right? So if this is for a Black family reunion, you would want to specifically let the AI know it's for a Black family reunion or any other culture, right? So that it provides activities and messaging targeting that culture. So just remember that as well, okay? And let me go ahead and grab this next prompt. Please rewrite the last ad and start the ad with a question that resonates with the struggles that my target buyer. I want to ask them a question that disturbs them, then give content in a way that might identify and sound like their main points. I want to then position graceful threads as the solution. So this is kind of what they in the industry, again, it's a negative prompt. You start with a negative and then you take them over to the positive. Start with the hell and you take them over to heaven. So that's the idea in this kind of a prompt. So you can be all cheerful, but if you want to get people's attention, a lot of times you want to identify their pain point and then take them how you're going to get them out for where they are. All of I'll take a look and provide them a real-time app beyond just the simple reunions, simple event scheduler, right? So this is solving problems bigger than just scheduling their reunion and creating a calendar app for them, right? So now we're going to rewrite it, have a little bit more pain, resonates more, and lets them know where we are. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So we got this. Now we're going to go back. Family is the most important. All right, so we are leaving at 2 p.m. There you go. I'm being a taxi service today. All right, so please rewrite the last ad. And I want you to question to make sure event scavenger. Perfect. I love this prompt because it allows you to see the first response as it's kind of a little generic. And now we're drilling down into it to kind of teach it a little bit more about what we need. And let me go back into Chrome. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. All right, let's drop this prompt in here. So much fun. And let me make sure I'll check the chat. Okay, good. Remember, oops, me and the post panelist, right? Make sure I put that there. I am so sorry. I realized I dropped the document into the host and panelist only. Let's grab that document and let's put this. And there we go. Let's prop this puppy in here for everyone. There we go. Much better. All righty. So we've got the answer now. Revised Facebook ad. Do you find yourself frustrated? So again, that's an emotion, right? Frustrated, trying to create a memorable event, struggling to turn your family event from ordinary to extraordinary, right? That resonates with somebody who has ever done a family reunion. I have done one and vowed never, ever, 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 ever to do another one. Love the family, but and the reason why ours was huge, it was 250, I think, people. When you do a family reunion that large, you're basically an indentured servant for a week. It is brutal. And we did it here in Georgia. It was, by the way, one of the best family reunions of the family, but it was here in Georgia. It was hot. It was like 99 degrees. It was ridiculous. It was just bad. It was tough to do, but everybody had a good time and kept asking us when are we going to do the next one? And the answer was never. Sorry. This is a different gentleman, Gary Halbert, also a famous marketer, and we're going to use that one in the prompt this time. And let's go back here and ask the AI to do it a slightly different version, less dramatic and a little bit more chill, as they say. And so we're going to write it now in the style of Gary Halbert. And so, are you sick of generic family reunion? There's a Facebook ad in the style of Gary Halbert. So I'm going to grab all of this and it's laying it out so that you can get an example. And what's great is you can pick the topic, ask for another ad. So you can keep going, iterating, and that's AI never gets tired. So keep using it to go around and around until you get an ad that truly resonates with your target audience, that you like, it's subjective, and that you really want it to go to run with it. All right, let's do this. Keep text only. There we go. We got the same issue we had last time, and that's fine. Easy fix. Okay, perfect. So we have the text for that one ad. And again, remember what I said, run it as many times as you want to run it. And let's make this a heading one. And perfect. And we're almost done. We're going to be done on time because we're rocking and rolling. Please feel free to ask questions. It's funny because I noticed that my Wednesday crew is usually quieter than my Tuesday crew. I'm not quite sure why, but it just seems to work out that way. All right, please write a one paragraph description. There we go. So now we're getting into and include not only the features of, but also a brief description of buyers and their pain points. So we're going to use this to feed into the app in the tool called Sales Hook Generator. So that's fine. You can also, by the way, you don't have to restrict yourself to one paragraph. A lot of times I like to drop the entire business brief in there, but for today, we'll kind of go along with the lesson I had created in the first place. Okay. So let's grab a one paragraph. It is good to have a one paragraph, by the way, because a lot of times you'll be filling something in about your business and think of it as what they call the elevator pitch, right? Not only the features of graceful threads, but also the brief description of buyers and their pain points. It is good to have a one paragraph. It is good to have that elevator pitch. Somebody asks you, what is your business about? You want to be able to give a one, two, three sentence answer on what you do. And it has to be an impactful answer because you're on that ride up the elevator. And when that door opens, they're gone. So you have a short time to give a meaningful statement about what your business is and what you do, why they should do business with you. And you want to practice that. You want to be able to give a quick answer. What do you do? Boom, boom, boom. Not wandering around, not being boring. You want to knock them, knock their socks off quickly and effectively. So Graceful Thread Tees is a go-to brand for families seeking to elevate their reunions and events with meaningful, and I don't know why. I do know why eco-friendly keeps coming in. It's because somewhere up above, I made the mistake of including eco-friendly. Always read whatever AI creates for you and then correct it before you keep going on. All right, let's see. All right. I got to make sure I put some space between the two characters and change the text back to black before I paste. Anyway, so we're doing good. We're rocking and rolling. There's a one kind of two-step thing. So now we're going to take that post paragraph and drop it into the sales hook generator so that it can run that for us. So you have so many tools for content creation, but one of them under sales and marketing is the sales hook or sales marketing hooks. And so you want to go back to projects as well, because projects just means that you do not have to keep copy and pasting. So once you have created your business brief or your one paragraph, you can go into any of the other tools and drop them in. So now I could drop this one paragraph and we're going to put in text this time. This tool is great because you could drop an image in here and it'll scan that image and create marketing hooks from your image. So it's great if you have like a product, a non-digital product. You can drop it in there, the photo of it, and it'll describe it, and then it'll create marketing hooks around your product. So that also kind of helps you understand how the AI perceives your product just by looking at a picture of it. Same thing I mentioned here. This allows you to choose between a negative language, positive language when you're creating your sales and marketing hooks. So, as I said before, you're going to want to take care that what you feed it as far as what is about it. So we already have some sales and marketing hooks that I created for Graceful Threads in a prior exercise. So I don't really need these. I'm just showing it to you for this particular thing. And then the next thing it suggests in our prompting here is to go to the scroll stopping ads itself with that paragraph, right? So let's take that paragraph that we have and we'll fix it while I'm here. And we'll take out this eco-friendly, right? So in this case, Graceful Threads, her company focuses on Black family custom apparel, commitment to securing higher quality materials, personalized designs, our primary customers, and it's talking about the individuals, right? And what they like. And so you can take all the stuff out that does not really appeal to your target audience. And by addressing these pain points through our inclusive design process and real-time AI-driven customization in the t-shirt business, and that's one of the things that Annette does, Graceful Thread stands out as a solution offering clarity and ease of planning. Now I've kind of cleaned that up a little bit, picking out the things that don't make sense for this particular business. You can replace the paragraph. That makes more sense. And you can run it again. I love AI because it doesn't get tired. You can keep iterating and iterating and iterating until you get it right. But if you make a mistake, just fix the thing that is obviously wrong and then run it again. One of the really cool tools here is this bonus idea generator. So we were creating a website and we needed, things to give away. And we asked the AI, hey, give me a couple of ideas for bonus ideas or things that I can give away for free. All right, a loss leader or a lead magnet. And one of the ones it came up with is a event planner, right? So you could give that away to gain people's interest and give them value before you ask them for money. Say, hey, here's a free event planner. So it had a lot of tips and tricks that they may not have thought of if this is their first time doing a family reunion, or even if they've done one before and you want to improve it, that kind of thing. So, all right, so it's calculating out some new sales and marketing hooks for us. And I'll jump over here while it's doing that to our next tool. We're going to use our content creation area, go to scroll stopping ads. And so I showed this yesterday and I showed a lot. You can take your paragraph and drop it in and ask it to give you image ideas, right? And so now it's going to go off and take your business brief. You can drop your whole business brief in there. You can drop your little paragraph in there, and it's going to give you ideas. So from a marketing point of view, you want ads, you want content, you want different things that you can utilize. Most ads are either square, it could be any of the three, but let's say we'll start with square. And then you can also click off the advanced options. And what's nice about the advanced options is you can decide, do you want this to be vivid colors or kind of more natural nature colors? Do you want it to focus on composition? Do you want simple? And so emotional appeal is usually very good in any kind of an ad. And who's your target audience? Families. Oh, and by the way, by keeping the project, all of your images are going to stay in that one project. So now we're going through, we're going to create a photo, realistic, and then you can pick your colors or let it pick your colors. What kind of color scheme are you looking for? So anyway, let's go ahead and kick that off. We're going to take a simple prompt and create what kind of images we want to use. So let's go back here. So now we have new hooks. And let's take a look at the hooks that we've gotten now. Elevate your reunions with graceful threads, custom tees. Simple. Create memorable events with our personalized family trees. Tees, graceful threads, the secret sauce for your memorable reunions. I like that one. Hint on the family picnic. And by the way, you can do negative. You can click it over to negative and tell it to create more. You can do fair-based, which will have even more. Urgent, fun, factual. So you can create the tone, change the tone of the hooks that it's going to come up with, right? So let's see what we've gotten here. It's working on it for us. And by the way, it'll give you 20 ideas. If you get one and you don't like it, you just move on and create another one. You have to be specific and edit the prompt just a little bit to get culturally what kind of family you're looking for. If it's an Asian family, Indian family, you just need to specifically say, and it's good to have a variety if you're in a business, but if your business is focused on a particular culture, also important to put that in here so that it is covered because it's going to be advertising you're going to be doing to your target audience. And so now this is a little bit more of the negative approach, right? It's still a positive message, but it starts with a negative. Skip basic T's. You don't want that. You don't want that. So you want to go with our unique family treasures instead. Avoid generic designs. So negative is actually pretty good advertising, right? So people are thinking about getting a t-shirt for their family reunion, and they're just looking at all these cookie cutter designs. And that's business is we create customized, personalized family moments. Don't settle for ordinary. So it's again starts with a negative, but it's a negative in the sense of you're showing them what you don't want to do or you don't want to experience. So embrace exceptionally family. So actually starting with negative can really give you drop plain shirts, create cherished family memories today, avoid dull clothing, capture the family's unique story. These are actually great even though you would, it's counterintuitive. You would think starting with a positive message would be better, but it's actually when you're trying to get somebody's attention, a lot of times starting with a negative message is not a bad choice. Let me also grab that paragraph and drop it into one of my favorites. It's the hyperrealistic, and we'll go here. Same thing, create images, ideas. And well, let's see what it comes up with. And we'll do a few there. So again, Wednesdays, we try to do sales and marketing content. Tuesdays is more focused on just general news, what's new, right? Kind of thing. And then Thursday, we do the entrepreneurial conversation. So a family gathered at a picnic, all wearing matching customs. This is actually, it's almost identical. So we'll skip that first one. And let's see, a close-up of two hands holding a custom t-shirt featuring a family crest, family together. Sure, let's do that. So we'll make it the square, for example, or we can make it landscape. All right, cool. We'll let that one run. And let's go back here. What is going on? It's definitely stuck. Oh, that is fantastic. I love it. Family forever, right? So that's a good shirt, a good image. And it's funny because even though it's not, something fancy, it's a good image for your t-shirt business. I love it. It delivers a message and it delivers an emotion. And that's what you want. So grandparents probably watching their grandchildren all matching cheery, cheery. Okay, so great. Watching over their grandchildren. And so we can pick that side. We can pick a vertical for the Reels or Instagram, right? And so that's off and running. Realistic is working. Scroll stopping is definitely just having an issue today because it generally speaking does not take that long. Let's try again. I didn't put any particular colors in this one. We'll try it again. It's spinning. Let's see if we get all the way through this time. All right. Any other questions? We're doing well. So on Tuesday, we're going to have our next starting class of AI training for anyone who has not been to that one. That's a good place to start. And as you kind of walk through all of the different elements, reunion, not sure what that one is saying, but it doesn't matter because it's kind of covered up. So reunion. She's the only one with a really weird one. But again, family, grandparents with their grandchildren. I like it. Not bad at all. I'll give it a 3. Had one error, so we'll give it a 3. So you want to train your AI, make sure it knows it's doing a good job, or if things are somewhat questionable, that kind of thing. All right. And let's see if it did finish finally. No. Whatever's going on with scroll stopping is why we have multiple versions of each one of these tools for the most part. We have more than one version. So I'll stop here and we'll kind of continue on, but hopefully that was helpful. And so again, I want to go from an ad. I want to start with from my big dream generator. I want to take my big dream generator, put it into the AI sales coach. The AI sales coach will help me understand my business, train the AI on my business. Then it'll start producing the types of content that I need for my business by summarizing my target avatars. And by the way, this document here, save it because you're going to use it in other places as well. You're going to use it for creating content for your website, for additional marketing campaigns, because again, you can always go back to the AI sales coach and say to it, hey, I am getting ready to do something. Help me create my business plan. Help me create a marketing campaign for the next 10 days for Facebook and Instagram. So you can be very specific about where you want it to help you. All right. So hopefully that was informative and kind of helped. Fingers on grandma again. You can't fix it in the image, but what you can do, generally speaking, once it's created it, there's a new tool under new AI apps, and it's called Conversational Image AI. So drop the image in here, drag and drop it in here, and then type what you want it to change. So for instance, say, hey, redo grandma, her hands has 6 fingers or something like that. As we showed yesterday, you can actually change the entire photo just by typing in a change here. You can't change that original, but you can bring it over here to conversational images and make those kinds of changes. And pay attention. You can run that same prompt again and it'll be perfect with 5 fingers. All right. So you don't really need to fix it. Just be attentive. And if it does something weird, just run it again. You can iterate until you get exactly what you want, accurate to the image that you're trying to create. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, everybody. I want you to have a fantastic day. You have a great day. Bye-bye.